Good morning to day 160. A cooler evening last night, slightly overcast, sun as gorgeous as ever, but a little bit chilly and a little bit potentially rainy today. So fingers crossed it will hold off. As we saw yesterday, the beam itself has been exposed. We had to cut out some steel rebar. That was roughly, I can't see where I am, but roughly here somewhere. There's a beam that's coming right across here, but for some reason they thought the beam had to be 4 foot deep that comes across. So I'd like to trim that because we're hoping to try and put over a 12-inch beam so it's not such a recess. So I'm hoping the back will be the same as well. So again, I think they might have had it so that this side would have been, the down piece would be 4 feet, and that would come across. I don't want, obviously, at the back of here to have a roof coming over that's 14 foot and it comes down by 4 feet at the front and the back. It's like a box, a lid on top. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a flat roof at the moment. So it's actually a foot, if not a foot and a half higher than the main house itself, but it's up in the air and it's about 12 inches thick. So we're gonna have a look at that later on today. Main goal today really is to try and start getting all of the formwork prepared to go up and across, because we want to be pouring Monday, Tuesday next week. So we literally have 5-ish working days to try and get the formwork right across. So we've got lots and lots of stuff laying here, which means we've got a head start. There's still going to be quite a lot to be manufactured and installed. We need to have a bit of a general tidy up because there's stuff everywhere. The carpenters last night, first set came in and finished off up here. So they've got 5 new sheets of ply they've put up there, plus they've used the old timber by the looks of it. Might be the old timber. No, they've used old timber, yeah. Because they've actually put them together and they've used, so 3 pieces, yeah. So they've actually gone across now, and as you can see, the boxwork now is going across. So we need to do that now at the other end. That's the only piece empty, waiting to be finished off. So then this side of formwork is actually complete, and next door will be exactly the same, but this beam will actually be going up. So rather than a down beam like this one will actually be going up. That does mean we're going to need to think about this height here, because this was designed to have a beam going across it. So we need to think about that now, because that will actually now be higher and the beam will be going up. So when you're looking at the roof, it'll actually have 20-foot beam, 6 inches recess from the actual roof itself after the concrete's been poured. We also need to try and get the guys to get the Wetcrete on here today, try and get that sealed. Anything on here, or any beams that are exposed, I want to try and get them sealed. And one thing I'll double check, which I asked to be done, it has been done, brilliant. So the Wetcrete's actually been applied, which is great. Morning. So the Wetcrete's on the front. So I want Wetcrete all the way through here as well. That then just protects the actual stone, concrete obviously, from the elements. And obviously it just helps us, obviously, when we render as well, when they put the scratch coat on, it also helps it to bed in. So that's the main goal today, is say formwork on the front, formwork on the middles, formwork on the back, formwork across here, and then we're literally boarding straight across. That's a 5-day plan. So hopefully we can stick to that plan, because we've only got 5 days, and then I'm also now working with the concrete company to ensure that they can actually get us plugged in for Monday, Tuesday. They're still not committing to that. They are saying they want to send someone out to actually measure once the roof's on. I said, well, you've already got the half roof on, so come out and measure that and just double it, because it's going to be virtually exactly the same replica over here, just with a raised 6-inch column in the middle. Other than that, the roof is exactly the same size and exactly the same spec. So I'm waiting to hear back from them. So once they've come back to me, I'll have a clearer picture as to what date that's going to be. But fingers crossed, Monday's the date. And then today, obviously, setting out the actual concrete, steel work and concrete for the actual manholes. We have 3. We've got one right over there, obviously, which is the main manhole to the sewage there. We've got a grease trap, and we've got this manhole. And then all of the sewage needs to be taken into those, which we'll actually get the plumber to do. They've got to be connected through with the relevant drops. And then it's got to be run all the way in front of this step here. We're going to have to get the excavator to take this up, and then we're going to have to take the pipe from there to there. So that's one thing we have to do today, but unfortunately the excavator and the bobcat were taken away, so we're going to get those back in order to get that achieved. So that's another thing we're going to have to do today as well. Okay, so 2 o'clock. Guys are up on the roof doing the rebar. Bit of drilling going on, which will be the wall into the garage, I thought. Oh, yeah. So we have to chisel into the wall itself in order to build the garage wall up. So that's going to end up becoming the garage wall that will support the roof and the beam above. So they're coming into that. They've been blinding the floors. So they're done now. We need to get the rebar boys now to put the rebar into it, and we need to start laying the concrete base. They will become the bases, obviously, for the manholes, etc. Scaffolding's disappeared from here, which is good. That is some height, that's for sure. The blocks have actually gone up on the end now, as they have on the right hand side and the left hand side, which means now that formwork can come right through. Beckles is out there also doing the staircase, which is awesome. What else? Boys are now starting to put up the formwork on the internals, which is absolutely brilliant. Guys are actually getting the concrete off the top after the pour. It's a really laborious task, but it's got to be done. Let's have a look, what else? Formwork is going up. Hey, how are you? So that's going to go up on the inside. Formwork's going up everywhere. So Trevor and his lads are working on this side, which is formwork on the inside. They've got to do the actual floor inside the basement as well, because obviously the basement itself has got to go up technically 20 feet. So we're going to have to get the RSJs or the timber itself going into the actual the water tank area in order to support the roof. So they'll have to do 2 steps. So they're doing that on a price. And these boys are now tasked with building and erecting everything that was taken down the other day to come across this side. So yeah, we're pretty much where we need to be on that. So that needs to be boxed in. This is all done anyway in here now, so that's finished off. I need to also get this tidied up, it's a bloody mess. But that's all done now in here. All the way along, and hardly any gaps on there because they're new ply. So I've got a real issue with the ply through here because it was the old ply, so it's warps and it's got marks and all sorts. So we're going to think about what we're going to do about trying to stop the concrete coming through there. But I need in here cleared out, so I need to get some labourers in here, and their job needs to be literally clearing this shit out. It's an absolute mess. So I'm going to get them doing that in a minute. Some of the 15 2x4s are missing, which I assume is starting to go out here. Never assume, but I assume it's being used somewhere. So all of these formworks themselves, they've been used here. So we're literally just trying to make them good and put them back up again. Saves them to manufacture and rebuild. Gotcha. And then we have Mr. Beckles out here building the staircase. Let's go and see how he's getting on. How you getting on, Beckles? All good?
Yeah.
Excellent. Right, so we've still got to sort out that septic tank. We've still got to get the actual the manholes benched. So I need to speak to a couple of bricklayers, see if I can come out and get that started. Obviously Trevor's in here cracking on with getting the formwork up inside there. And this now needs to also be coated as well with a thing called Wetcrete. So we'll roll that, which is that blue colour on the column. We'll get that rolled, get that protected. Get this beam boxed up, get that poured manually, and get that done as well over there. So other than that, at the moment, everything is moving nicely. I say nicely, not the speed I'd like it to, but we're now in control, and we've got a bit of a goal for the next 4 or 5 days. We are literally looking to pour concrete Monday through Tuesday. That's the goal. So fingers crossed we can get everything that needs to be done, and we're going to be waiting on the concrete company. As soon as that happens, we've got 3 days, 4 days of formwork being up. We can pull that down, take the formwork down, put the jacks back up and start fitting out the interior. 2 weeks if we're lucky, might get 2 weeks to fit out. It's going to be a bloody tall ask, that's for sure, but we're going to be aiming to do it, that's for sure. 4:25. Let's get upstairs and see what's happened. The guys are having a bit of a tidy up. Okay, so we've got a bit of a tidy up, and thank God, it's starting to look a bit better. It's still a bit messy, but obviously it's 10 times better than it was, so fair play to them. And what else? Beam has been wetcreted inside and out, which is why it's that funny colour blue. The boys, first tier of carpenters, 18. They've got the internal boxing starting to go up already. They've already done the middle. Flying for the middle already, look. Bum, 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 bum. Excellent. Again, wetcrete all the way through here. Let's have a look around here as well. Oh, he's not got the outside done. It's stopped. Oh yeah. Charlie's still going. Rather than stopping on that, why don't, if Charlie's stopping, trying to get people to stay, try and finish this off, otherwise the roller's fucked. And that's still halfway through. So we may as well stay late and get that bit done. It won't take too long to roll that. B team of carpenters are in here. They're cracking on with putting stuff up in the inside. So they're doing the formwork around the inside, so it looks like they've got pretty much all the formwork up already. Then they'll put the 2x4s around the inside to lean up against, and then they'll go across. But they're not putting up boxing that's already been made. So we just need to make sure we're not using the longer treated timber for that. So we've got loads of timber. But not a great deal came down until it's gone back up again. At the same time, Beckles has been busy today. Got the steps now being built. Very nice. Fair play, Beckles. So that's the first part of the structure, and then the steps themselves will be built on top of this, and obviously it will be poured on top. Oh yeah, good day today. Just need to get that finished off and try and get that done. So the actual roof itself, we've got half of it to do obviously, but where we're concerned at the moment, the rebar has been installed. Most of it's been connected together. Now what we need to do is smock the whole thing, get it off the actual floor itself. Not all of it's finished off. I need to get these guys to finish off tomorrow. And we also need to get up here and make sure it's all smocked properly. There's too much movement in some of it as well. Getting some movement on the floor. Shouldn't be getting that sort of movement. Need to have a look at that. Anywhere there's movement, there's underneath is not where it needs to be. Then we need to have a good scrape off, and then a blow. I need to get the blower on it. Make sure we get that blown off. What else? Yeah, it's just then connecting over to the other side. So these boys here, the box obviously starting to come round. So that will continue all the way around here. It'll be exactly the same as this side here, over there. I'll probably get the actual spray out as well and get spraying in here. Just to make sure we seal the actual the steel itself. Stop any form of corrosion that's been taking place. So I'll get that done tomorrow morning first thing. I'll get Dave to come in and Dave can get spraying. You can do the columns on the side of the building, through the middle of the building, on the front of the building, and then we'll try and get the boxwork up as soon as possible. We'll protect it from the salt air, because that's what does it. And that we're pretty much done for another day on planet Earth. Cracking view. I think that one's got to be your best one. Through the trees, straight into the sea. So anyway, see you tomorrow.